Hello, welcome to Collection Connection. I'm Nate the Great. We have gotten a lot of views and positive responses to our Storm Shadow restoration video. I don't know if you've got a chance to see it, but we took a yellow Storm Shadow and we made a mixture of Retro Bright using Salon Care 40, and we were able to restore and recard that figure, bring it back to its original glory. Follow up on that one was that the figure didn't really hold its luster like it had in the first place. I think I might do a follow-up video to that where I was told that it doesn't need to soak. I had it soaking in a bag with a mirror underneath it, but from what I hear, what they're saying is the fumes will get it, so you don't have to soak the there's parts like the elbow joints that were affected by the soaking. Today I'm going to be restoring a Tiger Force Outback figure. The Tiger Force Outback was uniquely released not in the States, but in like the Nordic countries, Scandinavia, but it's all in English, so good times. It was a Action Force card back, and it's a pretty cool figure. In order to get one to restore, I've already did the work. Whenever you're going to do restorations, always have an O-ring and your handy small tip Phillips screwdriver. I have basically two figures. Between the two figures, I was able to cobble together the one figure that I like. This is the one I decided to go against. He has it's the right crotch piece, but the colors are off. Maybe somebody repainted it, or I'm not sure, but as you can see, the green doesn't match properly, so I'm like, that's not going to work. And then the elbows are still good. There's no cracks in the elbows. And then the paint on the head was a little bit rough, so I decided to just take it apart and put the best figure together that I could with the parts from both of the figures. So with those pieces, we got the attack flashlight here, a solid piece, good elbows, the paint's good on the Tiger Force emblem and the head. So I was able to put a good figure together. I did that off camera. If you're watching G.I. Joe restoration videos, chances are you know how to reassemble a loose figure. The nut and bolts of this video is going to be recarding the figure. I've had some people ask after we had some of the custom carded after one of our custom carded videos. I had lots of responses. They're asking, how do you do that? What's the process behind recarding the figure? So I'm going to get the other figure out of the way. And we're just going to have the pieces here for the Outback that we're going to be dealing with. Okay, when I get these, I want to make sure that I take a really good look at them and be sure that there isn't any hairs or dust in the recard kit. I've got a buddy who sells these. The only place you can get this kit from, and he only has them for himself, and he'll sell them to me. Aside from us two, they're unavailable out there. So if you're looking to get one, it's not an easy find. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to take my double stick tape and get a piece off of it. I want to try to get any tape that was around the loop just removed from the mix in case there was any hairs or imperfections on that tape. It's also good, one thing I always do, I don't even really wear glasses, but whenever I'm doing a recard, I always get really, or at least for me, really super thick glasses so that I can really take a look at what I'm working on and get the details done. Okay, so the point of this, doing it this way with the glasses, is what I'm trying to do is have the tape be along the side of this and not really have any seams that you can see. And it's not easy to do. So as you can see here, as I'm applying this piece, there's a little bit of glitter in there, but it's on the outside corner. So as I'm doing it, I'm leaving a little bit edge on top. Then I'm gonna try to place the next piece across here and have it seamlessly meet with this edge here. And when you can have that piece, when you have the skill to be able to get those seams to be almost undetectable, then you're gonna get a really solid recarding with your kit. So get my next piece. And then once again, we want this to be as close to a 90-degree angle as possible. And the same thing with this one. Get that at the edge. You want it to be 90 degrees. Make sure your hands are clean. Oh, see, there you go. I've already made a mistake when I cut this piece. I cut it too short, it doesn't make the edge there. So this one goes into the scrap pile, and get another one. Make sure this one is long enough. There's gonna be tons of wasted tape, but you really don't want to shortcut yourself on this process. You want to do this, have it make it look as close to the original as possible. And you have a really great looking display piece for your collection. I mean, if you're gonna get this figure by itself, the loose figure by itself is gonna run you, close to $100 by itself. See that? Stuck there, but that edge is not seamless. There we go. Alright, so when I place it, I want these edges to be as close to each other as possible to make it be undetectable. But most importantly, I mean, you might have a little teeny micrometer of difference in there, but what you don't want to have is any overlap on the tape, because that's going to bubble and it's just going to look horrible. So we really don't want to have that. Trim a little bit of the excess off of there. Get our next piece. Once again, get that on a 45-degree angle. Put it in there, nice and solid. Okay, now you're gonna run into troubles with this piece here. There's lots of different ways to do it. What I'll usually do, actually I don't have a real preferred method. I'm just gonna run a piece parallel to this one and then trim the edges on it. Okay, so run this piece parallel to this one, and then I'll be able to trim the edges on that one. And I'm going to get another piece and run it down here and intersect it with a piece there. Once again, as close to a 45-degree angle as I can eyeball. Now I'm going to have this other piece on the edge here, and as long as they don't overlap under the bubble, I'll be golden. Alright, do my last little piece. This last piece is the hardest because it was really going to tell you how you lined it all up when you were doing it. And I always try to have the last piece be this piece here, because you've got this little bit of an indenture from the bottom of the bubble that you can play with to try to make the ends line up. So all the way around, we've got no overlap on the tape, and it's pretty seamless. The only place where there is overlap is right here a little bit, and that's going to be on the edge where we cut it off. And because it's it's just tape, you just got to find the edge. You want to try to find the edge right here. Try not to, make sure you don't cut the bubble. But once you find the edge, the tape should, there we go, just peel along the edge of the bubble. Voila. This piece is stuck, and I don't want to jack that up. And like I was saying before, let's make sure we keep our hands clean before any of that. The edge of the bubble. Perfect. Because it's got that hard edge on the bubble, it's almost like ripping a piece of paper across the edge of a desk or something. It just goes smoothly right across. There we go. Just gotta get the little bit of the edge cut, and then boom, right across. Now, there's lots of controversy in the collectibles market with hatred and vitriol that comes towards recarding. You know, and some of those things are rightfully so. You know, people should never pass off recards as originals. But let's face it, man. If you're a completionist and you want to get your figures done in a way that's not going to break the bank, then recarding is the way to go. I'm able to put this figure together. You know, you see them online for a small fortune when these ones sell. Carded, you're looking at like $1,000, but you know, I can do this and get the figure in my collection and be able to put it on display and it'll look virtually the same as the other one. I know you could tell. I mean, it's not heat sealed. The biggest thing is people would ask is, how can you tell whether or not it's a restoration or not? You know, it's fastened with double stick tape. I mean, anybody can see that it's got the double stick tape on there. It looks pretty good, and it's not undetectable, but it's virtually undetectable. We got a little piece that folded over on the other side here, which sucks because now there's going to be some glue from the tape there, but I'm just going to take this ball of leftover tape, take it over the edge and pick up any sticky residue that might be there. Okay, so now I'm going to inspect it, see if there's any little edges that I might have missed when I did my trim. It looks pretty solid. Okay, so the bubble's ready. I'm gonna get this figure ready to go. Okay. One of the things I want to do is want to make sure that I show off that the elbows, we'll get them as straight as possible when I put him inside, but I also want to show off that his elbows aren't cracked. So that's a nice thing there. I'll put him in here facing down, and then I've got his accessories here. So put these in, that facing that way, make sure it's all complete, and that when we put, I don't know if I'm gonna loop that there, I'll put it like this, that when we put it in there, that anybody who's going to be looking at it will be able to tell that the figure is complete. So what I'll usually do is I'll hold the bubble this way, and then I'm going to put the card above the bubble, and while I'm looking from below to make sure, I'm going to be looking from below up at this piece like it is, to make sure that the bubble is lining up with the places for the bubble on the card. It's probably the trickiest part, and if you don't do it right, the whole card is wasted, so you don't want that. It's going to be difficult to do from this camera angle, so I'm going to pause right here and switch my angle to get a good angle at it. Okay, the light's not great from here, but I'm going underneath the card and lining it up. Make sure the seams are awesome and that the backpack and all the accessories go inside well. Don't want to press it down too hard just yet. That's a good seal, but voila. Beautiful vintage feel carded figure, like it is. There you go. Tiger Force Outback, sealed and recarded. You can look at the edges. Try not to, you can see a little bit of seams on them, but the process of doing it with the corners the way it was. You know, another good thing to do is to put it down and just press along these seams, and there could be air bubbles or other pieces. So there you have it. Restoration, recarding of G.I. Joe Action Force Tiger Force Outback. For Collection Connection, I'm Nate the Great signing off. Have a great day.